the Solon Discord to be, like talking about DeFi and how people are handling their finances. I know you never want to go too deep into like exactly your structure, but it's always like, since like personally, like I'm very new to this, so to hear other people's kind of investment strategy, coin holding strategy, NFT strategies, how they kind of like go about their business daily and just do this crypto thing is very helpful, because then you're like, oh, I'm not doing this totally wrong, or oh, I could be doing this a lot better. And you just hear all these different perspectives. Very cool, and love to see that happening in the Discord. What's up,
You're,
everybody? My name is John, and we're all here to just talk about stuff, talk about NFTs, crypto, DeFi, and next to me is Crypto Jesus.
how's it going, everyone? Thank you for being here. Great to see you all. So yeah, Dante actually messaged me a little while ago, and a few other people saying, "Hey, we should get like a little chat going just to talk about our investments and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, one, it's great because this way we can tell people kind of what we're looking at, what we view as being more innovative in the industry for X, Y, and Z reason." Obviously there are a lot of competitors out there doing the exact same thing in DeFi. So it's great to be able to help siphon through kind of all the bullshit when there's over 8,000 different cryptocurrencies built off the Ethereum's blockchain. And on top of that, it's great because I know personally, I went through a ton of pains and made my fair share of mistakes learning about DeFi when I first started interacting with liquidity pools, all sorts of things. And sometimes these mistakes can cost a decent amount of money. So it's always great to be able to point people in the right direction and to answer a few questions like, hey, you know, what should I know when trying to create my own liquidity pool and things like that? Because impermanent loss can really hurt you. Uh, Thankfully, that's something we're working on here at Solon to have the ability for new people to essentially have no impermanent loss if they want to do so, to eliminate that risk. But it's all about we've been in. Some of us have been in this industry for a while, and it costs money to go to school, so to speak. But there are plenty of you guys out there that just a simple sentence could solve thousands of dollars worth of pain.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants that day to come, but I think at this stage in the evolution of crypto in our like just kind of society, it's almost bound to come to everybody. you know, that day of like, oh no, I lost my keys, or oh no, I got hacked. Like it just seems almost inevitable. What's up, Dante? Welcome. Always glad to see you. Um, yeah, I was also just I just got my BlockFi Bitcoin credit card in the mail. So I think it's like 1% of all your purchases you get in Bitcoin in your BlockFi account, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to play with that, try to figure out how much of my expenses I can get on that card, and start to play with it and just see what happens. I've mentioned to y'all before, I do use BlockFi just because I'm a noob, and BlockFi is easy, and it's like using any other banking app. And are there risks with anything in crypto? Sure, of course, but I don't know. I just hear just kind of listening to the people that are behind BlockFi. They're big, like they're big people, big VC capital happening behind them, and sounds like they're trying to do the right thing by backing everything up with cash reserves and stuff.
Yeah, it's great because I use Coinbase as an onboarder to get my cryptocurrency into my decentralized side of things. And I actually just signed up for the Coinbase card and started using it because it had much better rewards than my credit card. I get 5% back on every single purchase in Stellar Lumens. I mean, to me, it was just like, hey, I could get like, I don't know, maybe up to 2% back on all my purchases before. Now I get 5% back in cryptocurrency that I know is going to increase in value in addition to the 5% I get on every purchase. And I don't have to pay any fees either. You don't have to pay any fees for adding US dollar coin to your Coinbase debit card. You also get interest on your US dollars just sitting there, not even spending them on the card, in addition to the 5% on all purchases.
That's pretty awesome. So the Coinbase card gives you rewards in Stellar Lumens.
Yeah, so you have the option to do, I think right now it's only Stellar or US dollar coin. Right now they will only give you 1% back in US dollar coin, but that's because of what's going on right now with the SEC. If you guys didn't hear, what happened is Coinbase wanted to introduce a program to allow people to get 5% annual percent return off their US dollars, just sitting like they would in their bank account, not even being used for payment. And they first went to the SEC to make sure, how they wanted to integrate and set everything's up would be kosher, so to speak. And the SEC right away hit them with potential lawsuit action. They sent them a letter and everything, and Coinbase basically tweeted back at them and was like, "Fuck you guys! Like, we just asked a question, and just because we were the ones to ask about it, we get hit with this shit." So it's very interesting. A lot of people are like, "Oh, they're totally in the pockets of big banks, the SEC." But yeah, so I mean, we'll get there soon with more mainstream platforms like Coinbase. But I guess it's all up to the SEC and the government at this point.
I was actually encouraged, and forgive me, everybody. We're just kind of getting the chat a little warmed up, and more people are filing in. It's great to see. Welcome, everybody. So glad you're here. We plan to go for an hour solid. If the conversation is going good and people are still here and people are available, we will hang out a little bit longer than that. But I intend to end this at 2 hours. Just for I know there's other chats y'all want to get to, and families you might have, and work maybe you have to do, maybe. um, but yeah, my name's John, and next to me is Crypto Jesus, and he just posted a tweet up top, and it's a little primer on how to prevent 99.9% of hacks. Where'd you get? Did you write this, CJ?
I did. It's a collective of experiences I've had, and in addition, knowledge from Ben. I also included Ben's thread about Discord at the bottom to also raise awareness, because what people need to realize is Discord is essentially taking money to allow people to hack people easier, to scam people easier. Because if you pay for Discord's premium service, like Ben wrote about, you can change your number identifier. So every Discord username is like a username and then hashtag 4 random numbers. You can select those 4 random numbers if you have Nitro. So someone came into our Discord and essentially copied me, had the exact same number as me, same ID, same picture, background, and everything. And they imitated me, and sadly, they scammed 2 members of the community. So that's something that should be spread, because Discord could easily make that not a feature, but they choose to do so anyway.
Ben, when you discovered that, did you? I think you said you sent an email to Discord or something, right?
No, but I probably should now that I think about it.
Yeah, I was wondering if we even tagged them in that tweet. I mean, maybe we could retweet and tag them.
I tagged them at the bottom of mine.
Gotcha. Cool.
But,
Yeah, I did tag them in my tweet as well.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to respond unless it gets a ton of retweets.
CJ, because it's crazy. Like we were talking in DMs, and it's after these couple hacks that have happened in the last just 24 hours, with the creature toads or something, and you said there was another one with a similar Discord related hack. They got to get their house in order. Is there a way that they could make Discord more Web3? Like, put things, I don't know how that works. I'm not a technical guy, but is there a way they could make it safer with like Web3 protocols?
I mean, they could if they wanted to, but it is more work for them, and I'm not sure how experienced they are with Web3. They may not have any people on the IT side that does any work with Web3 at all. How's it going, Jim?
Hey, I would just like Crypto Jesus and Ben to prove that this is really you, because how do we know it's really you?
What do you mean, Jim? Are you just joking? Do you?
Yeah, I'm just joking. I just have a bad sense of humor.
Oh, okay. Me too. So we're on an even keel there.
No, I'm doing good. Just thought I'd pop in and say hi, you guys.
Glad you're here, dude. If you the floor is open, guys. So if we still have some speaker spots open. So if you want to come up, get in the conversation, you have something you'd like to throw in, we'd love to hear from all of you, any of you, and you're all welcome to come and do that.
Porsk, how's it going?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you guys talking about cryptocurrencies?
Of course. We talk about crypto, we talk about NFTs, we talk about DeFi, we talk about everything. But right now, what went on last night is this 17-year-old kid used, I forget what it's called, webhooks, I believe, Discord webhooks, to hack the Creature Toads Discord. They essentially got a mod to share their screen with them, and they're able to go in and make announcements, making it look like they were that moderator. And they said, "Hey, surprise! We're doing an early mint." Their mint was going to be the following day, but they basically changed. They created a new website and posted the announcement, and they got, I think it was 78 Ethereum in 30 minutes or so. But these two guys, NFT, it's Hotshot and VGF.ETH. They were able to follow his Etherscan transactions, and also VGF found his Roblox account, this kid's Roblox account, and from there they were able to get his information and dox him. And he actually came into their Twitter space last night, where they had over 2,500 people, and it was like a back and forth discussion. And then the kid returned the funds. It was crazy, but the same type of scam since then has gone on in 3 other Discords. I was watching it unfold in one this morning, but people really need to beef up on their security. They got to disable those webhooks.
What's happening now?
What's up? What was that, Porsk?
Are you a trader, Porsuk? Are you a trader?
Yeah. I actually have an advice for you guys. You should buy Bitcoin. You will be rich in the future.
Hey, I'm just gonna put it out there. I love Bitcoin. I used to be a Bitcoin maximalist. I started mining Bitcoin in 2016. But as I got further into the rabbit hole, you start to realize Bitcoin only has value because people put money into it, right? It's really just a store of value at the end of the day. It's only worth money because people put money into it.
What do you think about NFTs?
And I'm not talking about NFTs. We're talking about cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, but let's talk about NFT now.
Okay.
I think it's money laundering. What do you think?
I don't think it's money. So all of us, just about everyone.
Bro, it doesn't even make sense. You just sell something on digital. What the hell? You sell something that doesn't really exist.
Man, next thing you're gonna say is that you can right click and save the image.
Yeah, sure.
But what you got to realize is all the utility behind NFTs, right? So someone can make it so if you own a certain NFT, it gives you access into a special gambling den in a metaverse, right? Or it could be used as a pass or a ticket to an event, and it's unforgeable. No one could pirate it. No one could copy it.
Are you an investor? What do you do for a living?
Basically, I do a lot of work on. I do a lot of research. I do investment. I do.
Do you have an actual work?
Yeah. So Ben and I Ben is the CTO, are developing this new protocol called Solon DeFi.
Let me check your profile.
Yes, it's
You're the
added
co-founder
in my bio.
Solon DeFi. What is it?
Yes, so it's. Do you know what UniSwap is?
No, bro. I just know Bitcoin,
Oh, okay. But
and I just know that NFT is bullshit. That's
see,
all I know.
you wouldn't think it's bullshit if you actually got in here. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a proper use case for NFTs. All right. So let's say you know what EA Sports is, right? EA,
EA
the video game
Sports. It's
company.
in a game.
Yes, exactly.
That one?
So let's say yes. Let's say if they
Yeah.
made all of their NFL sports game copies NFTs, right? So that means it's unpiratable, it's uncopyable. So every individual can buy more, as many as they want, but only one person can be using one copy of this game at a time. And for the first time, if this kid got bored of his game, right, he would go to GameStop and they'd pay him $5 for it or whatever it is. Well, now for the first time, EA could collect a secondary fee on transactions of this NFT for the rest of the time. So in addition to that $60 upfront cost, they could make 10% on every secondary sales they're following and make an additional income off their games like they never would before. And we're creating a platform that's also going to allow users to rent NFTs. So, for example, if you're going to be away from home for a month and you're not going to play your EA Sports game, you could rent it out to someone else in the world who only wants to play it for a month and doesn't want to pay for the whole game, and you can make a sustainable income.
Is your name Jesus? Sorry.
No, it's not. It's Max, actually.
Max. Well, how old are you, Max?
I'm 21.
21? Why don't you go and find an actual job? Why don't you work in a supermarket? These are money traps, man.
Hey, if you're only into Bitcoin, then clearly you're not very down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole.
No, bro, I will be rich. I only buy Bitcoin because Elon Musk said so.
Okay, all right. So he's just trolling. I get it.
No, I'm not, man. I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. I don't know anything about NFT.
Do you want to learn, man? Because we'd love to have you hang out or even come.
If you want
come
to
take
learn,
part of
bro,
our
you
Discord.
can learn with us.
No. You want my money too? I don't believe you guys.
we don't want your money, bro. We just want to spread the knowledge about this stuff because this is real knowledge behind this. No, bro, we don't want that.
You guys are rich?
Trying to help people in the space.
Have you guys made a lot of money?
Hey, Max. Hey, John. Hey, everyone. Ben.
Hey, what's up, man?
Some more technical questions. Maybe I could ask you guys. We can wrap up this conversation first, though. But yeah.
No, go ahead, man.
You go from okay, cool. Yeah, kind of spread around. So first with the hardware wallet, I was just curious because I don't have too much experience with hardware wallets. This thing is it called the Oracle? Am I getting the name right there? Is that the idea?
If we can legally use that name, yes.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, it's a nice name, but we'll see how that works out. The idea is it's basically like, the size of a phone-ish. It has a screen on it. You don't need to like plug it in or anything. It's completely compatible in and of itself. What's the deal with like security, or say someone like third world country has like a lot of assets on this thing because maybe they're storing it as like a stable coin because that's better for them. Would they like try to lock this thing away, and they're not like walking around with it per se? Because if it's stolen, can someone go in? Is there like too off to get in, or how's that all work?
That's a great question, and the idea is honestly for you to walk around with it like it's a phone, because we want to get it to the point where you're using it in your everyday life. But as far as security goes, if you've ever used a ledger, it's going to be quite similar. Every time you turn the device on, you have to enter a PIN. And you obviously have to know this PIN. You'll have to enter the PIN every time you want to use the device. We're also going to have the user set up their seed phrase when they initially activate the device. They'll have to write this phrase down and store it properly in case if anything happens to the hardware device. They could use this phrase to import all their cryptocurrency onto a new device they purchase or to any other wallet provider.
Okay, yeah, and in the event that it is like stolen or it is lost, would they be able to like upload to a new Solon wallet, or are the
correct?
Funds?
Yeah, but they using that private key, that seed phrase, they'd be able to do so.
Hey, my friend also wants to join. Can you please accept his request? His name is Jihad. He's Spanish.
We got like 3 requests right now, man.
Jihad
Actually,
Akbar with the cat profile picture.
Sure, we'll have everybody up when we can. We're maxed out on speakers right now, so
I can leave if Jihad will join the conversation.
Oh, thank you, August Han.
You're welcome.
Yes, I wanted to say a couple of things about the yesterday stuff, if you mind. I think that we have seen like how we are all learning. All the people is new here, like these kind of scams on, for example, crypto or CJ just doing the thread about don't, like, for example, don't clicking links that you don't know as well. So I wanted to say as well that if you are bringing someone new to the space, just start with the basics. And basics, in this case, probably could be security stuff in first place. So keeping them safe. That's because also in the human way, like how we work about the FOMO, because that's how they treated like yesterday. That's how they get through people with using FOMO. And yeah, that if you want to talk about this, CJ, I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
John, do you want to make Ben a co-host or Dante so we can get more people up here? But yeah, Dante, I 100% agree with you. FOMO is the most powerful tool. It's just like as soon as they got into that Discord and posted the announcement,
yeah, man,
early,
I
even
agree.
when they said that they're minting a day later, people just aped in and bought anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they sent a message out into the general chat of the Discord. The hacker was just like 75% already minted in like 1 minute, and of course that just rushed a wave of people in.
I have one quick question. I was are you guys familiar with the Grape protocol and how that kind of, it seems like from what you're talking about with the Discord stuff, I know they're trying to kind of attack that.
No, actually, I'm not familiar at all. I'd love to hear about it. Ben, do you know about it?
No, I've never heard of it before.
It's a Solana token that basically verifies based on your NFTs for Discord membership, and it's a thing a lot of the Solana communities are using to kind of prevent anybody from getting in, and it seems pretty effective from what I know, but I don't know a ton about it.
That's honestly a great idea. I love that. It's like Twitter verification of NFTs, but for a specific community. So everyone in a certain chat is actually holds your community NFT.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't join the Discord, or you can't get access to most of the Discord until you're Grape verified, and that's done through the blockchain, and you're connecting your wallet through the Grape protocol, and it basically verifies you, and it seems pretty effective.
Isn't that just like Collab Land?
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, it's the same as Collab Land.
Yeah, I know one of the big differences, it moved over to Solana. Grape actually crashed Solana. That's what caused the that hiccup a couple months back.
Interesting.
Oh, that's funny. That really drove it to 400,000 TPS. That's fucking crazy. But yeah. So what's up with everyone? How's everyone doing?
I'm doing swell personally. It's been good in New York. Just finished up midterms, so it's all good. I got my dad in to buy an NFT, which is exciting for Solon, so that's big. Family is in there. I do have a couple more questions. I guess we could just knock them out if you're cool with it. They're like weird kind of technical ones, and just like the Solon, just been kind of grasp my head about it and watching the YouTube videos and pulled these questions up, and some friends that asked it some questions too.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, great. So in terms of the hedge funds and the portfolios, once the pools are public and on the site, if someone is doing like a lot of research and kind of inventing their own portfolio, and they want that to be like a hidden kind of thing, an IP thing, and they don't want it to be shown out publicly, or is there like an option to keep the pool like masked, or is it all public information and they know that when they're investing?
That's a great question, Max. So as far as we could go, is we could essentially hide it on the website, but it's all still on the blockchain. Anyone can see all these transactions. It's all public data, no matter what we do. So I mean, if you're asking in theory, could someone imitate their trades and copy their trades? Yes, but there's going to be a latency. You got to keep in mind because our pools allow for live adjustment. You don't have to create a new pool if you want to add a new cryptocurrency in, or if you want to balance things, etc. So there's always going to be that latency factor.
Okay, great. And so you can basically see everything in terms of even like the ratios and the weights and percentages. It's all like, someone can find that duplicate. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right, moving to the next one. Also relating to the AMM, but the pricing formula for like n-dimensional pools, is it just like instead of the x times y equals k, is there just more variables? Is it still like dealing with a constant at the end? Is that like a public
it's
thing? Or?
That the actual equation, if you go to the balancer white paper and look at their value function, it's very similar to that, but we modified it a little bit to allow for concentrated liquidity.
Sweet. Okay, no, I'll check that out. All right, only two more for now. Can I keep going?
Yeah, dude.
Go, bro.
Man.
All right. I know I was watching the video, and I think Ben, you created some sort of like, I don't know if it's like a hashing algorithm, but basically to prevent duplicates in terms of people, posting NFTs. My understanding is that like basically based off like the pixels is how things are being hashed. So would someone be able to bypass this by just changing a few pixels of the image, and that would be a completely different hash, and then it would go right on? Or is it kind of protect against that somehow?
So we're not just going to use like a straight up hash function.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do something a bit more complicated so that people can't just change a few pixels. But there's ways to just compare a few images to see, like as a percentage, how similar they are. And we're just going to do something like that, and then mark the ones that are too similar, so that people know that they're potentially a scam.
So for everyone in the audience here, if you don't know what we're talking about, there's a problem in decentralization where essentially the concern is anyone could create any NFT collection. They could essentially just right click and save images from someone else's NFT collection and steal their art. So we're creating a way where that is impossible. To essentially blocks those creations from ever being uploaded to our marketplace in the first place.
That's amazing. That's freaking great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And my last question is probably a good one because it may spark some conversation with everyone. Haven't been as active, unfortunately, in the past few days of the Discord, so maybe people have been talking about this, but I know, eventually it's going to be something to talk about. But has there been any discussion in terms of like marketing strategy moving forward? I really love how it's been kind of like a hypeless launch, and I think it could be interesting to kind of keep it, super organic and really primal and word of mouth. And that's like a really great way to grow. Have people been talking about different ways about doing that at all, or any ideas?
That's a great question, Max. And as things go right now, most of our advertising and sponsorship, et cetera, is set up for when the cryptocurrency itself launches. The NFT collection, we obviously want to make these one-on-one connections with people because at the end of the day, they're likely going to be our largest cryptocurrency holders. You guys will likely be our whales, and we want to have the best connection with you. And we want sincere people and a strong community. So that's why we like kind of creating the lack of exposure, so to speak, because we don't want to be like, hey, blah blah blah, Solon. We don't want to create the Solon is going to the moon phase for the Twitter audience. We want it to be like, hey, no one knows about this dinky little protocol, and this way we can get people in that are genuine. People that truly believe, people that aren't in it just to flip a bag. I mean, you go look on our OpenSea secondary sales, and there's only 39 Solon NFTs listed. 39. I mean, what other collection has a ratio like that? So right now it's all about the organic one-on-one because we're trying to foster and build that foundation of our community, and there's such a limited number of Solon NFTs. And for us, like we've always said, this is us getting our friends, family, and founding members on board at what we think will likely be the cheapest price to ever purchase our own cryptocurrency. And that's why we want to keep it such like a small niche audience. And And so, for us, it only makes sense to really start advertising once we have a cryptocurrency for someone to buy, because otherwise, sure, some of that advertising might go towards secondary sales in the marketplace, but there's only 39 NFTs available, one. And two, it's about bringing money to the project, to the protocol at the end of the day. So we want all that exposure to go into place when anyone, everywhere in the world can buy a cryptocurrency for pennies and get involved in the ecosystem.
Yeah, and I mean, we are doing the video production, which is like an explainer video, which is a sort of marketing. And that's going to be really cool to have going out on the social medias. And I know that without divulging too much, CJ definitely speaks publicly, and he has some engagements in the future. So that is a type of marketing as well. And I actually came across my radar today, and I mentioned it to Max. That permissionless conference is coming up, and they're looking for sponsors. So that's something we'll look at as a DAO, as a community, if we want to sponsor this event. It's probably the largest DeFi conference in the next year. I think it's next May. So that'll be a type of marketing. But there's no like terrible urgency, right? Like I agree with CJ. There's no this urgency where we got to get the word out because we have some time.
Can I ask a question real quick, or do you guys need to keep going?
Of course, man.
Thank you. So first off, I really love the grassroots approach. I got brought into the project by Bushido Apes and Jesse. Jesse and I have a mutual connection, so we're a big fan of what you guys have been doing so far. I had a question with renting the NFTs you have, and we're talking about marketing. So I'm kind of new to the NFT space and understanding all its utility, and I think you guys have done a nice job adding utility where it presents the token. There's this another cryptocurrency, Re-NFT, where they're renting NFTs as well. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between basically how you stand apart from them?
That's a great question. So the way Re-NFT works is you actually have to provide collateral in order to rent out an NFT. They're not using a new protocol. They essentially have like a vault. And what happens is you send your collateral, which has to be equivalent cost to the value of that NFT, into this vault. In exchange, you get to hold the NFT. This way, if you, let's say, keep the NFT and don't return it at the end of your rental period, the person renting it out to you gets that money provided, right? So to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because why the hell are you going to rent something if you got to pay the full cost in order to rent it? A lot of these people can't afford to put that full deposit down. Hell, you might as well just buy the NFT at that point and just sell it back a week later. And then the other half of the time, these people will just keep the NFT because, let's say, over that 1 week period or 2 week period, whatever it is, it's doubled in value, or whatever it is. So it's always in favor of the person renting, which doesn't make sense for me, and it allows for corruption. So we're actually we're deviating from the standard of this protocol, but it's a new protocol. It's EIP 2615, and it allows for true rentable and mortgageable NFTs without the need of providing collateral.
I can make a
So
go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so how do you, I guess the collateral provides some kind of safety for the user, right? But your protocol offers safety in another way?
Yeah, everything is completely managed by smart contracts. Everything's trustless. As soon as the time period is over, you don't have to worry about anything. It's automatically removed. If you go onto the Discord, we actually have some pinned messages, and there you can see a drawn out diagram of how the whole thing works. It makes it a lot simpler than I could explain it with words.
I got it. I think you've done that. Thank you.
Yes, I just want to add to that. Like, remember that if you are renting an NFT, I'm assuming that you are renting as well, like, just for that period of time, you are getting the access of that community. For example, if you are renting an NFT of artists, that you just want to get the benefits of those NFTs for a certain amount of time because he's making a new stuff, and you just want to be part of it for that period of time. So you are also like, I don't know if you are doing that. See, you're thinking about that, like you are renting as well utility in this case, not just money.
Yes, you're renting both. So it essentially will give the user who's renting it rights to use the image, but also any utility involved. So, for example, if I always give this example, but it's a great one because it's easy to relate to the industry, is if you own a VFriend NFT, and the premise of these NFTs, their original selling point was it would give you access to VCon in 2022, 2023, and 2024, Gary V's conference. And that's the only way you could get into this conference was if you owned one of his NFTs. So this way, if they use our rentable NFT protocol, let's say you own a VFriend and you can't attend VCon this year, and you're debating selling your VFriend NFT, but you want to attend VCon in the future, or you just want to make a sustainable income off your NFT and still own the NFT. So this allows you as a VFriend holder to rent out your VFriend NFT, giving someone else access to VCon, and also giving you, let's say, 5 ETH, for example, and still being able to keep your 15 Ethereum NFT. That's how much a VFriend is worth right now, I believe. So this creates a system where for the first time you can make money off your NFT without having to sell it. You can keep the NFT and make a sustainable income.
Besides that, go ahead, yeah.
Thanks, Dante. I just wanted to step in and just say that most of us are from the Solon DeFi community. If you haven't heard about the Solon DeFi community, I've pinned the link to our Discord up in the top of the space. So come on through, see what the protocol is about, and you'll have a better idea of the kind of things that we're talking about if you did that. But if you just are curious now, everybody's welcome to come up and ask questions or get involved in the conversation. Other than that, go ahead, Dante.
Also, we are on Discord if you want to join us to the discussions there. But yeah, I just want, besides that, I don't know if I got it right, but also you are trying to make like the verification for every and each NFT of each people on the blockchain. So everyone, if someone wants to use your NFT for promotion because they just like the design or anything, the art, you are just like just putting that on blockchain for it to verify that is yours, and you're just going to earn of it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy because sometimes I like to joke about this, about how we're kind of trying to create like a decentralized monopoly here. But, at the end of the day, all of our ecosystems are designed to tie into each other, just like we can have a 0% fee in our NFT marketplace to allow artists to collect more money. OpenSea has a 2.5% fee, for example, and Shoyu, which is going to be Sushi Swap's decentralized marketplace, will have a 3 to 5.5% fee, which is even higher than OpenSea's. But we have a 0% fee, and the reason why we can have this 0% fee is because we make money on our decentralized exchange side of our ecosystem. Every time someone trades a fractional NFT, which is represented by a cryptocurrency, we take protocol fees off those trades because it's represented by a cryptocurrency. It's traded through a decentralized exchange. Something else is every time you swap any asset for Ethereum or Ethereum for wrapped Ethereum to make bids, etc., you also do that through our decentralized exchange instead of doing it through UniSwap and giving them the money. So we have all these avenues to kind of bring funds back to the decentralized exchange, and really that's the core part of our ecosystem. Everything else we build off of it just feeds into it. Ben and I have been talking about incorporating a social media aspect into the ecosystem. This isn't, as of right now, this isn't a part of the initial protocol release, but in the future, we're looking at creating basically a decentralized social media platform where you can go and follow your favorite investors and invest in the exact same things they invest in, and interact with their liquidity pools, or they can create and mint their own NFT collection, create their own contract in our ecosystem also. And you can, on their social media platform, you can go and interact with their NFT collection. And also, if you want to have a profile picture, it's verified through our platform that you own that NFT through our marketplace or in your wallet address, etc. And if you want to post a picture, well, you have to have IP rights to that picture. You have to own that NFT, and it's verified through our marketplace and your wallet address, all connected through our ecosystem. So even if you just want to tweet out a simple picture that's another person's NFT, you can't even do it without their permission or their approval. It creates an ecosystem for true IP value.
I imagine, speaking on this, there's something in the code that somebody's not going to be able to list the rented NFT for sale on OpenSea, right? There's some kind of protection there.
Correct.
Sorry to go back there.
No,
you
it's a
can
great question.
you can actually like transfer the rented NFT and move it around and do stuff with it. It's just that at the end of the time period, it always goes back to the original owner. So if you're if someone lists an NFT that they rented, then whoever buys it is only going to get it for a certain time period. So they're probably not going to pay much money for it.
I gotcha. So in the instance that there was a bad actor, somebody's renting the NFT, they sell it, they make the money on the sale, but then no matter who it's been sold to, it boomerangs back into somebody else's, into the original owner's wallet.
Correct. And we're also going to set it up so they know, let's say they're listing it on the marketplace, they can only list it in the rental marketplace. So they know when the time period is going to end, etc.
Got it.
So
Okay.
the second buyer or whatever, they wouldn't get screwed. They would know clearly, like, oh, this one is only going to be available for a day or two.
Yep, exactly. So it's kind of like it allows you to do, so let's say you want to rent something for a week, expecting to use it for a week, or you only want to use it for a quick ad, and your minimum, you agreed to rent it for 24 hours, etc. You can rent it out for the rest of that time period. So it gives you the ability to make money, or to, I guess, efficiently spend your money. Whenever you're not going to use something, you can rent it out. Hell, you could rent it back out in your sleep as a secondary if you wanted to.
Hey, everybody, I just wanted to remind you guys that we do record these sessions, and they're available in our Discord. They are recorded and played back on YouTube, via YouTube. So if you wanted to hear something again, you can come through the Discord and check those out. But I also just wanted to, as a general disclaimer, we do record. So you might want to put on your voice mask.
Welcome, Wolf.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, so I was thinking that we were talking also to make a point here, like we are talking about the utility on blockchain itself. So that's why probably like CJ and Ben are using in this case. Also, linking this to the yesterday or what happened. That's how yesterday all the problem gets solved. Like, using just the technology, and that's how we know that how we could verify, because we are what blockchain is coming to the humans to what it's going to do is just solving a verify information problem, and that is just like a human problem as all.
Yeah, Dante, you're 100% right. You know, what we want to create here, what we want to bring to the table is an ecosystem where you essentially never have to leave. And this way, you don't have to worry about getting hacked or any other malicious activity. You know, you buy the hardware wallet, you use your card to buy your crypto, buy your NFTs, to invest, blah, 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 you name it. And you can do it all in one place. You never need to leave our ecosystem, and therefore you never have to worry about any potential hacks as long as you are within the ecosystem.
Yeah, also I don't know if you have to think about this, like I thought that the other day you were talking about insurance, but I was thinking about a retire plan for all elder people, because I don't know, the other day I talked about the elder, like I think that we could have something for them, because I don't know, people get old and just by themselves. I don't know, the right now the retired system, I don't think that it works, because people just work all their life just for nothing. Like you spend all your time in work and lose your family, and you don't see your children growth and nothing, just spending time in a shitty job. When you get the time to get retired, you don't have money enough, and that's cycle of life in this case.
Yeah, and Dante, the best part of that is using our ecosystem. You can just set up a pool, like a fund, for people to invest in, and you could make the fees as low as you want. You can make it 0% for all these users that enter in. So you know, you could grab a hardware device, walk your grandfather through it, and you could be like, "Hey, this is backed by my research. These are my cryptocurrencies. Blah blah blah. I'm going to manage this pool for you guys and your friends. You can just put a small amount of cash in here every week if you want to, or every month, or blah blah blah, and all the information is relayed live. You can see how well my annual percent return is, etc."
Hey CJ, we were talking this morning on Twitter. This tweet came through, and I was like, "Well, what does this mean?" And you made the point that it's basically how much value Sushi Swap has locked as opposed to Uniswap. And then, but why is Uniswap valued so much higher?
See, that's a great question, and a lot of the reason behind that is one, because people don't really know about Sushi Swap. Not as many people know what Sushi Swap is compared to Uniswap. Uniswap does a great job with this just because they're user friendly. Like, you go on to Uniswap, it's an extremely simple user interface. You can trade in a second. It's nice and comfortable. It's not too overwhelming. They're kind of like the Coinbase of DeFi exchanges. While you go look at Sushi Swap, and it's more like the Binance of DeFi exchanges. It's a little more intimidating. Not as many people know about Sushi Swap in the industry in general because of this. In addition to that, it's worth less because you have some venture capital, seed money, etc., investing in ventures like Uniswap. Well, Sushi Swap went through a much longer phase of being decentralized and then being taken over by another entity and a new team. And now they're basically a DeFi ecosystem. While Uniswap is really just an automated market maker, a decentralized exchange. Sushi, on the other hand, you can do loans like they basically built Aave into their own protocol. It's called Katoshi lending, and it allows you to take out loans on your trades right there and with better rates than Aave. They have all these great things in their ecosystem. They're bringing Shoyu. They have all these different lending programs. They have X Sushi, which allows you to get additional return on your sushi, like holding it outright, but you get an APR on top of it. It's a much better ecosystem in my opinion, but with all these different factors and being less decentralized than Uniswap, which even Uniswap isn't completely decentralized, it creates more risk and room for concern on the regulatory side when they're closer to the more centralized position. So that also scares away a lot of investors. So it's a mix between people not being accustomed / not knowing it and people worrying about regulatory concerns.
How you doing, Lady Radish? Welcome to the floor. Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going? Good. What are you guys talking about today?
Little this, little that, little NFT, little crypto, little DeFi. What's going on in your world?
I'm pretty gosh darn excited because I seem to be like selling out today. My art, I sold like 4 pieces today, and like that, I don't think that's ever happened before. So I'm not sure what's going on.
That's awesome. Why don't you pin some of it to the top of the space? Do you have a tweet?
Yeah, I can do that. Just a moment.
Yeah, either the link to the OpenSea or wherever it is, or Foundation, or tweet, whatever.
Hype Utah as well.
Peter Brett, what's up?
Gentlemen, ladies, how are you?
All good, bro. All good.
Good.
Yo, I want to shout out all the work that you guys have been doing at Solon. I appreciate you. I was thinking about Solon about 2 hours ago when I was hearing NFT Anonymous announce his stealth drop that's coming up of Oasis, which is a token. Exactly like Ready Player One. He leaked a little bit of a hint of, if you own 15 Oasis tokens, then you'll be part of a VIP section. And I'm thinking 15 Oasis tokens at 0.08 ETH. That's about $6.5 grand, give or take a few $100s. Something like Solon is a solution for this, where you can hold 15 Oasis tokens and still have the ability to access that information in that room. And as we're creating these complex communities that are NFT gated, Solon solves the entry barrier for those who do not have significant financial means up front. Because there are 2 things we're trying to overcome to embrace people and coming into the metaverse and Web3: knowledge and resource and financial resources. Solon is looking at solving, I think, financial resources. I hope that through my work with some folks, I can help bridge the knowledge resources for some folks. But I think you guys are doing a dope project, man. More power to you.
Thank you, Peter Bread. Yo, how are things going on your end?
I was teaching my kids. I was teaching my kids how to code Selenium yesterday, actually.
How'd it go? What was your course with them for learning Solidity?
Solidity, thank you. We went through Crypto Zombies, so we've made it through 6 lessons of Crypto Zombies together. And, it involved me actually sitting down and teaching them, basic mathematics that schools just aren't covering at this point. Like, hey, your module is your remainder. Here's why it's important. They're like, what? I'm like, let me explain it to you. But these things aren't covered, and it's part of the journey. I'm gathering these resources, kind of incorporate them all together. And you know what, Crypto Jesus, I appreciate the kick in the pants, because you're one of the people who's like, dude, you just need to do it. Like, stop seeking the answer, create the answer. I appreciate Dante for being out there and like really helping me out with some stuff. And it's going to be a slow grind. If we look at what Facebook's rebranding is doing, it concerns me. I'm not going to say it scares me, but it is concerning, because that Mark Zuckerberg is not a human being that I would trust with all of our data privacy. And he showed us why.
What's their rebranding? I haven't heard of this.
Metaverse company.
Bro, Zuckerberg is coming.
Metaverse? What the fuck?
Zuckerberg is coming, bro.
They're even gonna change their name and everything, apparently.
Yeah.
Facebook the company?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah.
So here's what
they
they're
want to
doing.
be one big metaverse. Like,
well,
everything
here's what they're doing.
in the metaverse.
Here's what they're doing. About 3 weeks ago, they had their brand on Horizon VR, which was building out virtual worlds, etc. They had their brand on that. They removed their brand. People were having an uproar of this because they were seeing what was coming. So they removed their brand, and everyone's thinking, oh, okay, the Zuck gave up. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Zuck doesn't give up. He just puts more money behind something. So what they announced, I think, 17 hours ago or 18 hours ago, is that Facebook will seek to rebrand to become a metaverse-focused company. Has not announced what that means yet, but we can all guess that if NFT Anonymous has just launched the Oasis token, then Zuckerberg will probably launch IOI.
This is going to be fucking crazy. I'm sure everyone remembers back in 2017, actually, Facebook developed a cryptocurrency called Libra, and it didn't go too well. They faced a lot of scrutiny and things like that. I think they actually planned on creating their own blockchain originally, but it went to shit. They kept it as like a private token. It was 100% centralized. We all know what that means for any cryptocurrency, and it ended there. So I'd like to see what their revival looks like.
Yeah, I mean they have all the resources, so we'll see. I mean, I'm not a fan of Facebook, but hey, listen, if it's a good product, I'll freaking use it, dude. I don't care,
You're
man.
right.
Like, if it's a good product, I'll use it.
This is gonna be like Stoner Cats 2.0. A lot of people didn't want to buy Stoner Cats or get involved because it was just a celebrity collection. And meanwhile, of course, they sold out instantly at a 0.35 Ethereum mint, which is fucking ridiculous, and for 10,000. The same thing's going to go down with Facebook here. People will shit on Facebook all day. They'll say they don't trust their information, etc. But if Facebook has a mint, all I know is it's going to sell out.
I want to say one last thing, because I got to step down and like do the dad thing and all these other things. I want to say I appreciate Dante. He did this phenomenal thing with me this past weekend. He translated OK Hotshot's analysis into Spanish, and we're kind of just waiting for the approval from Hotshot. We don't want to publish something without the creator's consent.
Send it my way, and I'll send it to him. I'm friends with him, and we've talked a few times in DMs.
All right, on my way down, I want to shout out Wealth. I want to shout out NYC NFT. Dante, you got my love. Crypto, you got my love. Obviously, JoeSmith.eth, you got my love. Everybody else, appreciate you. Bugsy, I see you, homie. I see you.
Hey, I just want to step in. Thanks, Peter Bread.
On my way down.
All right, man. See you around. What's funny is like all the things that we were just talking about, like with Peter Bread, like those were things that were like I mean, he had the idea, but it was literally hatched in Spaces. And it's been like a week, right? I mean, it's been a week, and it seems like that was forever
It's
ago.
literally been a week.
It's so insane. But I just wanted to say, welcome to the space. We're talking about NFTs, crypto, and DeFi. It's an open conversation. We're also talking about some art. Thank you for your patience, Lady Caroline. I'll get right to you in a second. A lot of us are from the Solon DeFi community. And so we're just kind of hanging out and shooting the breeze. If you are new to that, if you've never heard of Solon DeFi, up in the top tweets in the top of the space, we've pinned the link to the Discord if you want to come find out more. It's a automated market making protocol, and you can also rent and buy and sell NFTs on it as well. There's a lot going on, and I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit, but Lady Caroline, can you tell us about that artwork you pinned up there?
Oh, hey, yeah. That is part of my collection. That there's only going to be 100 in there, and it's inspired by women and art blocks. So, like, there's different sections of the collection that are like grouped together. Like, there's only 5 Lady Grumpies, and there's only a few Janices, and yeah. The floor or the opening price for them is pretty cheap, I think, considering I think the opening floor is like 0.03.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, that's totally reasonable. How are you creating these? Is this collage work, or is this digital collage, or what is this?
It's digital collage. The one up top was a photo I took of an actual print I had on my wall. It was like an old engraving, and then I took a picture of a garbage can outside, and then that's the background. The pink, that's the garbage can, and then I basically collaged it, and yeah.
That's awesome. Are you able to be a full-time artist yet, or are you still working and doing the whole thing?
Right now I'm doing this full time, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, no, it's cool.
That's so awesome. Like, have you grown up doing art and creative things, or?
Oh yeah, I've been doing art like my whole life. I went to school for graphic design, and I designed wedding dresses, and I made websites and photography. I've done like everything pretty much. So this is kind of like the culmination of my whole life pretty much is this point.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, I'm hearing that from so many people, and it's always in different ways. And I could say the same for myself. Like, it does, being here in the space does feel like a culmination of a lot of things. Thanks so much for sharing your art with us. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you. And yeah, it's pretty cool like to be able to like talk to people about art and like hang out with people too. I think that's like my favorite part.
Yeah. Like, one thing that I've thought about is in the artist community, because you guys are, I mean, you guys are in the crypto community now, like all the rest of us. And if you like, if you ever want to know what other things you can do with the crypto that you're earning by selling your artworks, you can join discords like Solon, where we're talking about decentralized finance and how to rent and sell NFTs. Like, it's kind of the next step. So keep it on your radar. No pressure, but definitely come check us out.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Thanks.
Thank you. It's amazing. I'm glad to hear. I love this space. I'm addicted to it, and it's great because for a lot of us, I know me especially, this is like my Netflix, and it's addicting just to be here, to be in Twitter Spaces, etc., and to be learning about the industry and to be involved. NYC NFTs, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? You can hear me good or no?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to give my my take on what I'm understanding might be going on with Facebook. So they're potentially rebranding to what's called The Verge, which just the fact that Facebook is rebranding is completely insane, and it's like mind blowing because it's a multi-billion-dollar organization. But and they're going to they're going to have wallets. People can set up, wallets to send Ethereum back and forth to each other. So that's just one thing, in my opinion, that's going to just add to Ethereum dominance, Ethereum eventually flipping Bitcoin, because as much as we got a whole bunch of hype around, there's 400,000, NFT wallets, and there's 69 million people on Coinbase. There's like 3 billion people on Facebook. So if
Dude, you're right.
if
And what's fucking crazy to me is exactly what you said. The fact that they're rebranding, $100+ billion company
bro,
is rebranding and going down the fucking metaverse hole.
insane.
If that doesn't make you fucking bullish on Ethereum, NFTs, and
Oh my
cryptocurrency,
gosh, bro.
I don't know what the fuck can. To be honest,
It's masses. It's literally just it's mass adoption happening, and where it's crazy to think that we're here watching it happen. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people.
To them,
Yeah.
To them, it's such a fucking big deal that they're
Yes.
rebranding their entire
Yes.
company.
Also,
only thing that
probably they're just going to merge everything into one app. Like probably there is going not more like Instagram or WhatsApp, because they have it all, so they can just get one stuff for everything.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, it's gonna be the one-stop metaverse. You can order a fucking pizza from Facebook in VR
Yeah.
now. You never have to get. This is literally gonna be. I know people like to meme this a lot. Ready Player One, but this is gonna be like Ready Player One. Hopefully decentralized. I'm praying, but literally
Yeah.
you'll be able to sit on your bed all day in fucking VR. Eventually, we'll have haptic feedback sensors, so you can feel as well. You can feel the grass.
That
in
is
VR,
weird, bro.
Haptic feedback sensors exist today. They use them for patients who lose their limbs, etc., so they can feel items when they pick them up. And eventually this can be incorporated into virtual reality technology. It only makes sense. And you'll be able to feel potentially pain or aggression and blah, 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 force, resistance, all these other things. And Facebook is going to create this world where you just sit on your bed all day, you wear an Oculus headset, and you order a fucking pizza through the metaverse when you need it.
Well, did you saw the news about Wu-Tang Clan, the one of a kind album who the government just sold to this DAO? There is a.
Oh yes, dude! I couldn't believe
crazy.
that shit when I heard it. If you guys don't know, I forgot who the lawyer is that was arrested, but this guy or
It is
businessman,
Martin
was
Shkreli.
arrested.
He's a pharma guy.
Yes, Martin Shkreli, and he was arrested, and the FBI seized this album he owned, which was, I think it was a one of one.
Yeah.
Dante?
I think that he just got caught he's just paying several years. It's big.
Yeah, but they seized Wu-Tang Clan as because he owed so much fucking money. I forget what. I think it was some big scheme. But anyway, it went up for auction. The government auctioned it off to raise money to help pay back the money he owed. And a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, like a cryptocurrency DAO, a group of NFT holders went in and they bought it.
I think that they are like 78 people, just the DAO, and also they pay like $4 million just in crypto, but with the.
I hope it's a good album.
It's one of a kind. Like the Wu-Tang Clan just made it for. It is not for public until 2183 year. So until that day, is just it's not for public. Yeah. So I was thinking about for example, if the DAO wants it, they could use like the Solon ecosystem just to rent the access to the album, for example.
Dante, you're a genius.
What is the owner
of
this?
Top of that,
what DAO is this?
It is Pleaser
DAO
or something like that. Please DAO.
Yes, pleasure.
Sure.
Yeah. I forget exact. I know.
Bro, you have to do that, CJ. Just get in touch with them and just offer the service.
Yes,
Well, what would be
CJ.
smart for them to do, which they could also do through Solon, is they should create an NFT collection and allow people to have like commercial access to the music, and they could probably make more money than they paid for the fucking album. What's up, NYC
Yeah,
NFTs?
I don't know if I don't know really much. I just got home, so I'm kind of missing this conversation a little bit. But I heard this Wu-Tang thing, and then I heard 2,183. But if you're actually trying to see if you can get in contact with this DAO to see if they want to put it on Solon to like rent it to a bunch of people that want partials of this album, I might be able to help you get in contact with one of the dudes from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Hey guys.
Yo, say
Yeah,
less.
so if you
What's
want
up, Peter
if you
Brad?
want to DM me and maybe that could help you get in contact with the DAO or something, or unless you can just find out them yourself. But because I'm from Staten Island, so I know a bunch of people that like kind of they rap and stuff, and I know this one girl who like her uncle or something is one of these dudes, so I might be able to have her help us out.
Yo,
Hell yeah, man.
gentlemen, ladies, we're forgetting something.
What's up, Peter Brad?
We have such a tight-knit community. You know Dill? Dill opened up for Wu-Tang a few weeks ago.
Oh, it's a wrap, bro.
Oh
We got
yeah,
it. We
fuck,
got it.
I
We got
forgot.
it.
That's right.
Yo, DBL, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? I don't mean to take this opportunity to say hi to all the Solon guys and everybody else. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing great.
Great, how are you?
Good, man. Good. I don't mean to backtrack, but dude, I was tripping out on the Facebook thing because you mentioned Libra, and they just said that about 5 senators, Elizabeth Warren being one of them, just got on Mark Zuckerberg to close their wallet. They just opened a huge wallet overnight, and they try to bring a stable. They're taking Libra again, but it's going to be called DM as their stable coin. But the government already told them they have to shut it down.
The government already told them they have to shut.
Yeah, dude. About 5 senators told them that.
They don't even make this shit. They literally just breathe a single word of it out, and the government's like, nah. It's like the same shit with the SEC and Coinbase and their lending program.
But
they're like, hey, we're going to give everyone 5% on the US dollars. And the SEC is like, hold up. Nah, you can't give the US people more money. We can't let you do that. They got to pay the bank.
That's what I think it is. But do you think they're saying that because of all the shady shit Mark Zuckerberg's doing? But what I think is that it's their fight against crypto because...
You're right, dude. But something very interesting that I found out, that I guess this is kind of alpha, but the U.S. government is making their own cryptocurrency. They've actually already created it. I don't know. I forgot the exact details, but they have yet to deploy it. I think they're trying to figure out how they're going to introduce this to society and make it look like they're not the world's largest fucking hypocrites. But it's not going to be used as a currency like the US dollar. What they're actually using it for is for wire transfers. So what we saw this year with the introduction of stimulus because of COVID is the U.S. government had to send all these checks out, and they got to pay a fee on every single thing they do to these banks, to these banking organizations for their infrastructure, for wire transfers, etc. So the U.S. government said, hey, why don't we just create our own infrastructure and save millions, probably billions of dollars every year on these wire transfer fees that we'd give to banks normally. And so that's why they're creating their own cryptocurrency, so they can essentially convert US dollars into this coin, send it wherever they need to send it.
CJ, do you know
that
that is something
CJ,
that
I got the alpha for you on that.
Go ahead, Peter.
Oh, I
Go
forgot
ahead,
you
Peter.
work with the military, Peter Red.
I happen to be in secret squirrel rooms sometimes, and I don't know shit, but I know people. So I'm reaching out to my buddy who told me about it, who's who's like doing a full request for work with the U.S. government on it. But the 2022 appropriation bill for the DOJ classifies cryptocurrencies under cyber warfare. And from my few years in the Army, if you appropriate anything under cyber warfare, you treat it just like you treat fiat money when dealing with foreign entities. You use it to actually fight and employ local nationals to really fight a war. So if you think about that in terms of crypto, if I need to employ somebody to fight a crypto war, or hey man, I can't do this because I don't know the technology, but I can back it with funds. And here's my government version of my crypto. Here you go, man. Go fight this war for me, and it's appropriated under cyber warfare, the cyber warfare appropriation. That's one. Two, there's actually a map that shows how far ahead the Asian countries are in deploying this kind of I believe it's called CBDC. I got to pull the links, man, and I'll send them to you so you can paste them.
Yeah, you're right. Central bank. Yeah, digital coin.
Yo, fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, no, apparently it's very legit. The U.S. government's going to make their own cryptocurrency. They're just figuring out how to roll this shit out. But I guess what Peter Bread is saying, it sounds like they might be rolling it out in 2022 with their new classification. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense that they'd use it to facilitate payments with, potential people like they would for funding certain countries for defense.
There's a
Maybe they
certain
didn't.
17-year-old that we all think may or may not go to jail. The U.S. government will probably fund that young man to figuring stuff out for them.
Well, that is so
They don't,
true.
like, you laugh, but somebody in this room has worked for the U.S. government on several projects and has told them this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And CJ, the government doesn't want you poking around in their business unless they tell you to, man.
Yeah, what I was about to say, like probably the war is against people using crypto as DeFi. Like government probably just want use blockchain and the technology just for their own benefit, like keep people in the system, And the thing is that we are trying here to do the opposite, like using DeFi just to give the people the power to choose, So that's.
They're fighting as hard as it can. It takes the power away from them, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I said this in Polly's room earlier before you joined, CJ. So I'll say it in this room so everyone can kind of resonate on this. If you want to find out how the United States government or any government is going to use cryptocurrency, look at how they have used fiat currency in their political and actual warfare methodologies. That is not an easy task. That's like someone telling me to go do my homework on NFTs. Yeah, y'all can laugh that shit up, but it ain't easy. So take a scope at the last 20 years of war the U.S. government has had against the war on terror, and then say how much money was pumped into that, where did it go, and how was it exchanged? There are dollars on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan and Iran, actually, and other countries that cannot be traced because they exchanged hands clandestinely.
That is just burning money and money laundering. But
nah, I'm not gonna throw our government under the bus like that, because you know what, I do love our government, but it's more about.
But that's how you create a bubble in another. That's how you create a bubble in another market, because you are just printing money.
You're Dante, Peter Bread. The U.S. government is the world's largest arms dealer. That is a fact. And Dante, what you're saying is actually that it's a cool story. The world's richest man in history, Mansa Musa, was the king of Mali in Africa, and he was a Muslim, and he went on a pilgrimage to Mecca every year. And on his way to Mecca, he would pass through multiple countries, and every town he passed through, Mansa Musa had so much wealth, and all this money came from gold. He would literally hand out gold bars, and he handed out so much money, it collapsed all of the local economies of every town he passed through, which is quite crazy, but real cool story.
Yeah, I see how it makes sense. Hey, I see your hand up, Quantum Swing. What's going
guys,
on?
I'm gonna drop out. I just got home. Sorry about that.
Hey, I just wanted to stop by. This is my first time here. I've actually spoken to Dante before. What's up, Dante?
What up, bro?
You guys are touching on some pretty cool, subjects. And
oh no, Dante, he got rugged.
Wow. Quantum, come back up. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing real quick.
What's up?
Hey, the CBDC thing about that. Just think about it as this: like, if the government's doing that, they could almost do it in like a smart contract type way. and then they would be able to tell people, say if they give you stimulus, that you could only spend it on certain types of items, or after a certain amount of time, it would just be invalid and they would just take it back.
You're right. Honestly, a good way I see of that is like Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, things like that. They can actually make sure the money goes to what exactly it's meant to go through. But in order to do that, we need a complete Web3 economy, so to speak, because the government needs like a white list of addresses that are accepted, so they know, hey, this address belongs to this grocery store, or this address belongs to whatever it is. But we're going to get to the point where we're on a complete Web3 economy, but it is overhauling the entire world. It is literally upgrading the entire world. So it is something that's going to take a lot of time and a long time.
Yes.
But it's going to be quite the revolution.
Same thing like you were saying. I know a lot of people, like older people, would not want to, be like, crypto, we don't want any of that. But if the government's giving their money every month in crypto, they have to use it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, that'd be a good way to get older people involved.
You're right, but we need to get to the point where it's as user friendly. And I think where is it that accepts Bitcoin as tender now? It's
El Salvador.
El Salvador, yes. I think actually what El Salvador did as a model isn't too bad. Basically, they said to all their citizens, "Hey, I think it's $30. You get $30 worth of free Bitcoin just for signing up. Downloading the application to start using Bitcoin as a currency," and they use the Lightning Network, so it's fast enough to accept transactions.
CJ,
but
CJ, I know you love Vitalik. Did you see that he was against the El Salvador Bitcoin thing?
No, I didn't see it, but I don't blame him, because the way we got to look at it right now is Bitcoin is too volatile, and also it's too slow to be used as a country's fiat. It makes a lot more sense for Ethereum to be used as a country's fiat, because one, it's much faster, and two, it's used to facilitate and pay fees to interact with over 8,000 plus ecosystems built off its blockchain. UniSwap, MakerDAO, purchasing NFTs, etc. That's where the economy is. Bitcoin doesn't really have any economy built off.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, besides that, you probably Vitalik, it is just criticizing the fact that it is probably a little bit authoritarian to do that. And the way he did it, like the president just getting those decisions by himself. So because probably he's having like this perspective about saving money through Bitcoin. But the thing is that you are doing it through an authoritarian way. So that goes against the older philosophy.
Yeah, it goes against democracy. It goes against decentralization at its core. But I do know exactly what you're saying. Not necessarily is he doing anything wrong or evil. I think idealistically, he's trying to help his people. He's trying to help the population. He's seen Bitcoin as an asset that has increased significantly in value over the past 5 years, and wants to just bring value to the general populace in a country that doesn't have too high of a GDP. But at the same time, the volatility and swings in between. And obviously, we don't know where the price of Bitcoin is going to be in a day, a year, or a month from now. We all have our guesses, but it's always going to swing in between its highs and lows. Obviously, cryptocurrency will do well at the end of the day, but we don't know how long it's going to take for crypto to have its next all-time high. These are factors people never know. And for a country to depend on Bitcoin, it just doesn't make any sense. You're really impeding the people, because at the end of the day, one, a lot of people are not going to want to convert into that currency. And two, people that are forced to convert in that currency need to spend money on like they would for their normal expenses. While the volatility and price of Bitcoin is swinging every day, the amount of Bitcoin vendors have to accept every day has to change. And it creates all sorts of problems in markets in a less developed economy, a less developed technological side of the world. And also it creates problems because when your average GDP per capita is only, let's say, about $5,000-$10,000, whatever it is in El Salvador, that can be a huge swing based on volatility, and that swing may cause you to not have enough money to pay your rent one month.
Yes, I don't think that they are going to use Bitcoin as an exchange stuff, because no, they are probably the innovation is just the yeah, the idea itself, just the introducing Bitcoin as how do you say in English?
Store
A ledger?
value.
Store of value.
No store of value. A ledger, like a money, a currency.
Yes. What's really interesting, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, I thought it was hilarious, and I bet he's laughing right now, is the rulers of El Salvador, their president, I believe he's a president, maybe he's a prime minister, I'm not
No, it's
sure.
president.
But
president.
president, yes. So he actually tweeted out, like, if you keep buying the dip, I forget exactly what
Yeah,
it was. It was hilarious. He's like, if you keep buying the dip, then you'll never hit the bottom, or some shit like
yeah.
that
I want to
about
add it.
Bitcoin. But with the country's money, all the people's wealth.
Yeah, I
I
want
mean, it
to add
worked
it.
out for him.
I
So
think
that's
that
nice.
the Korean and the Brazilian bank are trying to use the Hedera hash graph network on the hash on the graph to powerize their networks for the currencies.
Yeah, but fuck Hedera. It's distributed ledger technology. Let's be real. I mean, sure, that might be innovative tech right now, but in a few years, blockchain is going to be. I mean, blockchain's already kicking its ass with proof of stake. Once ETH goes 2.0, once it goes proof of stake, Hedera's going to look like a piece of shit. Because distributed ledger technology can't upgrade like a proof of stake blockchain, with Ethereum and
But
smart
you,
contracts.
CJ, you are talking about scaling or that stuff.
Scaling and also just raw technology, being able to implement updates, being able to overhaul the network like Ethereum is, going from proof of work
Oh,
to
I
proof of
see, I
stake,
see, I see.
and smart contracts. Because as technology continues to be innovative, as we continue to innovate and produce new technologies, let's say you buy Hedera and their structure is set up in a way where they can't really upgrade, right, to stay up with the technological times. But the blockchain is scalable, and it can also implement updates and structural changes. You want to be able to keep your money in something that's going to stay and increase in value with technology. While Hedera, they're going to be like, hell, sorry, we have to create a new chain with new technology. Now it's completely separate. Your old Hedera coins are worthless. Well, with Ethereum and their blockchain, they just proved with their current migration is, hey, they're going from proof of work. Now they're innovating. They're staying up with the times. So they're going proof of stake, and all your Ethereum is now going to be worth more money.
Boxy, what up? Axo Quantum is there as well.
What's up? So, can you hear me all right? Anybody?
How's it going, Bugsy?
Good. Let me just ask, are we convinced at all that none of these governments around the world haven't already created their cryptocurrency and are behind some of these top coins or altcoins, and they're using it as a way to hedge inflation? Like, are we convinced at all that they're not doing that right now? We just don't know who's behind XRP or whatever, 100%.
That's a great question, Bugsy. And the transparency of the blockchain would allow someone to expose that eventually. All these top cryptocurrencies people are looking at all the time. Auditors have to interact with, etc., or have interacted with. So I really doubt that any of them created any of these large cryptocurrencies. Now, do any of them own a decent portion of it? Are any of them whales in it? Yeah, more than possible. China has already created their own cryptocurrency. They've created their own blockchain. Don't get me wrong; it's currently, from what I understand, it's garbage. But they're trying to get into this market. But I mean, how valuable is a centralized blockchain going to be? I guess people do pay to use Solana, not to meme Solana, but the rest of us are going to care about our decentralization.
I think
we don't want our user data to be out
we're
there.
riding that
What's up, Bugsy?
fine line right now where you have mostly a centralized market, but you have a strong, decentralized following as well, or push. And once the floodgates open up here and more people come, I mean, it's kind of like choose a side. What's going to be stronger? I have no idea which way it's going to go.
I think you're right, man. I think you're right. I think people are lingering with the centralized side. They want that customer support, so to speak. They want that connection with government, whatever it is.
That's the last
but
thing I want.
Then the other half wants their and then the rest of us, we're realizing how valuable our security is, how valuable our independence is, how valuable it is to have control over everything you do in your daily life.
Like even today, you get, for every dollar you make, you get to keep freaking 60 cents when all's said and done. Like in the decentralized world, that doesn't exist. But if they get into it or they have complete control of it somehow,
That's the best thing, Bugsy. Like in the decentralized world, right? Let's say you had a complete decentralized economy. Let's reference it to Solon. Let's pretend Solon was its own government system, which it could be, and an economy, etc. You wouldn't have to pay any fees whatsoever on your income. The way Solon would make money as a government is through their protocol fees. Every time you want to swap one of your cryptocurrencies for another, or purchase a fractional NFT or sell a fractional NFT, etc., a tiny percent fee goes based on how much you essentially contribute to the economy, how much you interact with it, what time when you buy goods, etc., make investments. Then that's when money goes to the quote unquote
Yeah, so you
So
government,
keep what you
CJ, for
earn.
and you get.
example, CJ, so for example, imagine this. So Solon becomes something so big, like an ecosystem, and the people and the government just like don't like it anymore. How do you think that the government could try to shut down something like Solon?
Dante, that's a great question. It's obviously something we've thought about. At the end of the day, Solon will live on the blockchain. It's going to be built off of all sorts of blockchains. It's going to be on Arbitrum. It's going to be on Polygon. It's going to be on Ethereum, etc. Initially, at least, and they can't shut that down unless they were somehow able to seize, I don't know, 60 or 70% of the supply of our cryptocurrency, which is impossible, right? So they couldn't shut it down even if they kidnapped me and pointed a gun at my head, right? It would live on forever on the blockchain. But what they could do to try to censor it is they could potentially, let's say, make it illegal for us to sell our hardware product in the United States, or they could ban our websites in the United States. People would still be able to, do a direct read write to our ecosystem. But, let's say the government banned us. Well, here's another great thing is Starlink, Elon Musk program, which is a global satellite network that no government controls, right? It doesn't allow for censorship because it's essentially in space. It's in space and it's a global network. Or there's decentralized computing and Wi-Fi networks like Helium miners, completely decentralized internet. This gives access for people to go onto our website everywhere. It doesn't matter how censored it is.
Yeah, you have a couple of hands. Like Quantum, you go first.
Well, I can just say real quick, because this is kind of an extension to what we were just talking about. Been a little out of it making apple pie right now. But what you're saying about the government being able to buy, a bunch of the token per se and kind of take kind of control over the DAO. I guess that'd be very expensive in the future. Do you worry about, because I know like even in these chats I've been seeing, as I continue to come to these, like more and more, I think I saw some kind of VC people showing up. Is that like an issue like early on while the coin is kind of vulnerable in its infancy and maybe not too expensive for someone to buy up an F ton and do something dangerous with that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Max. That's why we've implemented a bunch of systems to make it so essentially if the majority of individuals agree on something, then it can pass as a protocol vote. And that's the only way it can get to the point where it can be voted on by the token holders. That's why we've set up that system. But that's why we're doing this. That's why we did the ghost launch, etc. This could have easily. We've had plenty of VC companies and people and individuals be like, "Hey, I just want to buy a portion of your supply outright for X amount of cash. You keep the cash, etc." Well, then we wouldn't be decentralized. And we're trying to set things up for the future. We have goals. We have a timeline. We've got everything planned out. And we want to execute this flawlessly. We want to create an ecosystem that will live on forever, an ecosystem that's truly 100% decentralized, and an ecosystem that will continue to build itself for the rest of time.
That's super cool. I think that's probably my favorite part about the whole project is just the complete kind of dogmatic stance on decentralization. Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, to be 100% decentralized, obviously that means we have to make our NFT sale open and accessible for all. We have to make the sale of our cryptocurrency open and accessible to all. But what we can do is limit the wealth of information, so to speak. We can limit how many people actually know of Solon's existence or what it does or how the protocol functions or what makes it so innovative and what makes it so valuable. We can limit this information. We can only talk about it in spaces. We can talk about it one-on-one, make meaningful connections. And this is what keeps the whales out in the early stages. As long as we make it not much of a public announcement thing and advertise it and shill it everywhere, but more of a one-on-one conversation thing. And that's how we get our ratio of token holders to supply up. and how we create a good solid foundation that you don't have individuals who control 12-10% of the supply, etc.
Yeah.
Hey, Quantum, what's up?
Hey, yeah, sorry about cutting off earlier.
No, it's all good.
Question I had is just, as a newbie here, like to somebody like me who just joined the Discord today, how would you break down, Solon in like 20 seconds or less, just so I can follow along in the conversation? And
That's a great question.
What I was gonna say earlier, I was just thinking, Dante. Like I said, I met him in another NFT chat probably months ago, and he's answered some good questions for me in the DMs. Since I'm working on my own project, and just wanted to shout him out and appreciate that.
Thank you, bro.
I want to see you do this in 20 seconds. Let's do it.
That's a great question. It's hard to do in 20 seconds because there's so many parts of the ecosystem. But what I like to say is,
just in a nutshell, that would be good.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, our product, our ecosystem will allow anyone anywhere to purchase cryptocurrency, NFTs, and to invest outright with a credit card and the tap of a button. So you can go through our marketplace, for example, on this device. You select whatever NFT you want to buy. You tap your card. That's it. Select whatever cryptocurrency you want to buy, how much of your local currency, you tap your card, that's it. If you don't know anything about cryptocurrency or NFTs and you want to invest with the best, you scroll through our ecosystem, look at our pools. You select a pool based on its annual percent return, select a nice high one, or you select a pool based on the name. It's like Gary V, blah, blah, blah. You can invest with them. You don't need to know anything about cryptocurrency or NFTs and get the same rate of return as them. You click their pool, how much of your local currency you want to put it in, you tap your card, that's it.
Boom.
Okay. And is this going to be sort of on some sort of platform that you guys are creating, or?
Yeah, so everything's going to be built off Ethereum, the Ethereum blockchain, and also Polygon and Arbitrum to initially.
Okay, sounds good. Well,
so we're going to be. You can go to our website just like if you went to UniSwap's website, for example. You can use our application or you can use our hardware product if you want that easy access to being able to purchase things with the card.
Okay, understood. All right, I appreciate the explanation. Thanks again, guys.
I mean,
the
fact you can purchase NFTs and stuff or crypto with a card, that's huge. Like, that's huge. Welcome everybody to the space. Glad to have you here. My name's John. Next to me is Crypto Jesus and Dante and Wealth and Bugsy and Double A and Max and Quantum and a lot of the usual suspects. Glad you're all here. It's an open conversation, and we're going to keep going for another half hour or so. After that, the conversation can continue in Discord, and we'd love to have you all there. It's in one of the pinned tweets at the top of the space. I also just pinned this tweet from one of my personally favorite artists, Brain Vomit. He says, so Coinbase NFT Marketplace has over 2 million users signed up. Facebook changing its name and going all in on the metaverse, and ETH broke 4K today. Wow, just wow. We're all going to make it. And I kind of feel the same. I mean, if you've been in the space, you got to feel kind of like, even though yes, you can go negative on a lot of these news bits, but it's here, it's coming, it's mainstream. Bitcoin all-time high, ETH is pumping. Lots of things to be excited about, and I don't know, got to look at things in a very optimistic light, because why else would you build anything if you weren't an optimist? So let's fucking go.
Let's go. John, it's very interesting because right now with the price of ETH increasing and all these other things, we see an inverse relationship with the value of NFTs. So, the price of ETH goes up, the price of NFTs goes down in terms of Ethereum. And the reason why that is a lot of people equate it to dollar value, as weird as that sounds. So although they might be like, hey, I'm not losing money in terms of dollars I put into it, but you are, because you're losing ETH, and you could have just held that ETH outright.
You just see that once you lost it.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because this inverse relationship is created. And obviously from here, I think we just hit the second all-time high for Bitcoin and Ethereum and have surpassed it. And the last all-time high before the prior one for Bitcoin was 20K, and they did over a 3x from that. So, the question is, where are we going to go from here? For me, I don't think Ethereum's stopping anytime soon. And what that means for the NFT market is going to be the continual downward trend in terms of price in ETH. So for me, like I've been actually trying to sell a lot of my NFTs. I'm only going to keep a handful. I've got 400 NFTs. Um, I'm trying to sell all of them except for about like 6 regular profile picture based ones, and then obviously I'm keeping all my Solon NFTs. But this is where people are really going to start to realize the value in NFTs that are utility based, right? Because this isn't just art, this isn't just community. If you own a Solon NFT, you're going to get some of our cryptocurrency, and the crypto market is pumping right now. So that there's all that direct value there.
Yes, there is value everywhere. Like people, I think that doesn't that is not aware yet. Like you are using Ethereum for utility, so they just think Ethereum as an investment. Like they are putting money to invest, not to use it.
Yeah, it really feels like there's this paradigm shift coming, you know, between like the centralized and decentralized, just, as you guys touched on before.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. Obviously, we're trying to go the route of completely decentralized to 100% decentralized, and there haven't really been any protocols to successfully do that yet. Even UniSwap, for example, although they're fairly decentralized, the reality is their core team really does like all the development. They had a team token sale in which I think they gave away 12% of the supply of the cryptocurrency for free. Even Ben and I have to buy our own supply of our own cryptocurrency. We're trying to keep things as decentralized as possible, literally like pure decentralization, pure governance. Everything is going to be completely voted on and agreed upon by the community. And that's the kind of structure we're trying to create here and implement, because that's the beauty of blockchain. That's the beauty of decentralization. In my opinion, blockchain was created for pure decentralization. And we're kind of just replicating the use case of blockchain here without any centralized authority. We're creating a full blockchain based ecosystem.
Yeah, I wanted to add something that we were talking before, because I live it this myself with Binance, because when I got here to the US, I lost all the access to the BSC change. So all the tokens that I had there, I just have to move it to around the world, because that's a problem here in the US, that you don't have access to the BSC change, and that is what we use on Latam and all those countries to exchange stuff. That is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy for it to be such a hassle to like send and receive value. But it's coming. I don't know. It's coming. I think it'll be. Part of me is thinks that people are going to be, well, for lack of a better term, they're going to be too lazy to learn about Web3 and decentralization, and they're going to go to Facebook and they're going to go to Disney, or directly to the source of their whatever entertainment diversion drug they're looking for. But so I think that like it behooves this community to do what we can to educate the public, and it also is incentive for people just to create rad shit that the public likes to use.
You're right. It's crazy to think about, but at the end of the day, people are generally going to go in the direction that's easiest for them and the most profitable. And number one is that ease factor. That is always going to be the number one thing. So Facebook is going to make the whole metaverse experience nice and easy. In my opinion, if Sandbox can't get to the level of on ramping and onboarding, whereas it's as easy as you buy a VR headset, get it in the mail, you turn it on, you're already in the metaverse. Well, they're going to die. I hate to say it, but a lot of these protocols are going to die. And we're going to see that when we start to see the wave of the general population starting to flow into the industry. User accessibility, lowering that educational barrier to entry, lowering all the steps of getting to the DeFi industry, to getting to this spot. That's, if whoever can do that the best is probably going to do the best at the end of the day. And their amount of innovation in spaces otherwise is really just a bonus. You could have an okay metaverse, but have the easiest onboarding ramp and really innovate in onboarding, and have a much larger community than the nicest looking metaverse if they're shitty at getting people into their community, shitty at bringing bringing ease to the general public.
Also, we have to be aware that if Zuckerberg is going with this, he's have been thinking this like a lot of since a lot of time. So he's doing this for the masses. They are getting into this for the masses. So they already have this worked out probably.
It's crazy how many spaces are going on right now. I was just looking at the top of my tab. There's like, I've never seen so many spaces at once. I've got like 30 spaces up here. Uh, and some of them are like hundreds and hundreds of people. I guess Wednesday's a poppin' night.
Quick question for you guys. I see so many projects and people throwing out the word utility, and it's like the definition is exchanged so many ways. How would you best, define utility for a project, or what does that mean to you guys?
Good
That's a
question.
great question. And to be honest with you, utility's thrown out there as mainly a marketing thing, just like DAOs have been thrown out there as mainly a marketing thing. Usually it's a bunch of bullshit. Usually it's not even close to a real DAO. And if the most advanced one, which is nowhere near as advanced as ours, is a mix between on chain and off chain, which the reality is it's not even a DAO in the first place. Essentially, the community elects people to move the funds for them, and then they use Snapshot, which just says, hey, we want to vote on this vote passed, and then a person has to execute that vote. Our DAO, it's automatically executed. It's 100% executed on chain, and we're bringing that to the industry. In addition to that, the whole utility thing, also another big marketing term, and half these fucking things don't even need DAOs. You really need DAO when you need a mutual decision of direction or how to use funds, etc. And then the other thing, utility is everyone preaches about utility. It's really just a marketing term to get people to buy into their project or protocol. But a lot of these projects don't have or need utility. Don't get me wrong, some of them are doing cool things. Like they're making really cool games, for example, and you can use your NFT person as a character in their game, or the only way you can play this game is if you own one of the NFTs. That's utility. In my opinion, utility in this world, in this industry, is something that gives you exclusive access or ownership to if you own the NFT. That I think utility has a very loose definition in this industry for us in our ecosystem. If you own one of our NFTs, you can. That's the only way you can deposit money into the liquidity pool, basically like the fund controlled by the team and by our programs and our research, etc. It's also your only way to go to Solon in-person events. It's also comes with a bit of our cryptocurrency. It'll also be access for the Solon Bull House in the metaverse. You can only walk in there if you have one of our NFTs, etc. And this is our utility. But what I think projects, especially in the NFT space, need to start doing, which we did with our project, which I have yet to see any other project do, is work completely on a nonprofit sale model. And the reason why is all these creators and innovators and blah blah blah, etc. A lot of the time they just run away with community money and just never do any work, or they say they're going to create all these things and do all these innovations, etc., and just never do them. They take the money from the mint and they walk away. But in my definition, that's a cash grab, because
I agree.
if they're really going to do everything they say they're going to do, if they're confident in their work and they know they're going to do everything they say they're going to do, why not just give yourself, let's say, 100 of your NFTs out of 10,000, which will make you more money in the long term if you're really going to deliver what you say you're going to do. And that's what we're doing here. And all the money left over from our sale is going to go to the DAO, and the DAO will control how to use those funds, which is all of our token holders, all of our NFT holders. And the 2.5% fee on secondary sales will also go there.
You know what,
And that's the
CJ?
structure I think should be modeled.
What I think as well that have been going on is that some people into some industries, they just thought that doing an NFT project it was so easier. You just needed a good artist and someone who know coding, and you just with that you just open up a Discord server and you just have an NFT project.
Of course, yeah. It's like, I mean, it's so obvious now. It's laughable, really. I mean, if you guys are on Discord, all the DMs you get of all these whack ass projects. I mean, it's like by the hour. Somebody needs to do like a short video on like, I responded to every single Discord DM.
Yeah, to your point.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? People would meme the shit out of the because half these people are from like Russia or China, etc. They're gonna start chatting with them and like feed into. I've actually done this a few times myself, not to put it out there, but sometimes I'll start chatting with these hackers or people that are like pretending they got scammed, and pretty quick you figure out that they're the scammer trying to scam you because they send you a link or some bullshit that's malicious. And then I'm like, okay, let me have a little bit of fun. And, I just like waste an hour of their time or some shit. I'm just like, I get a good laugh out of it. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like someone could make a sick like video collage out of just memeing these people. I've had a few calls with these people. It's like if you ever get a call from a solicitor and you just feed into the whole thing and you're just like, yep, I definitely want a new My Pillow.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say that we are on the Discord server as well, Solon. And if you have more questions or you want to know more, we are there as well.
Well, I think the space is winding down. Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, how's it going, Eric?
Hey, what's up, man? I just joined your Discord today and the community, and I think what you guys are doing is just phenomenal. It's really mind blowing. It's next level. Really next level stuff. So I feel privileged to be a part of this. So I appreciate your efforts. It's great that you guys are doing this as a community and building your community and doing everything as a DAO, as a proper DAO. I think it's just amazing. So you just mentioned. I have a quick question regarding the distribution of your coin, the coin that you guys are gonna be doing. I read somewhere that you planned on randomly giving 5% of the ICO to NFT holders. So what does that exactly mean? Like how does that random program work, and does that mean that there might be people that do not get some of these coins since it's a random?
Eric, that's a great question. So the supply we give out is between 1,500 tokens and 10,500 is the maximum. So every NFT will come with somewhere between 1,500 and 10,500. And if you look at your NFT and you look at the properties section, it'll have two properties, length and the number of tokens. And the number of tokens will show you how many tokens comes with your NFT. And the way it works is as soon as our audit is completed, you'll go onto our website and just click like claim tokens. And you pay a gas fee in exchange for your cryptocurrency associated with your NFT. And the reason why we're waiting until then to release our cryptocurrency is because I personally hate projects that release their cryptocurrency before releasing an actual product or completed protocol, because half the time, they go and they collect the money from the cryptocurrency sale, promise they're going to do this and that, and they run off to the Bahamas. And the other half of the time, they develop a project that's only half as good as what they're claiming, and it kills all the token holders that were investing along the way. So we want to create a cryptocurrency that has value based on the quality of the product we deliver. We're not looking for that cash grab.
That's awesome, man. That's really good to hear. Like I said, I didn't know how it worked, and you just mentioned it, so I thought it was a good time to ask. And another quick comment, just regarding the Bitcoin conversation that you guys were having a bit earlier regarding El Salvador. I actually have family from there, and I've been visiting quite often since the announcement came in. I've been maybe like 3 or 4 times over the past couple of months. I've been to a few of the parties that the Maxis launched, and trying to understand, everything that's going on around, and if this is going to be something something that will last the test of time, right? If people will actually adopt it, and this will be a coin that's going to be used, or are people going to use it as a remittances process, or whatever they're doing, and you know, I think there's a lot of things going on. I think that Dante's comment regarding the way that it was done, that it was done in a very what was the word?
Authoritarian.
Yeah, authoritarian way. I agree 100% with it. You know, there were no discussions with the financial system, with the private enterprise, with no one. You know, they basically just said, you know, like everybody needs to accept it from now on. They've created like their own wallet where you can actually convert the money, you know, into fiat, into US dollars. So El Salvador's legal currency is the US dollars. So that makes things a little bit easier. So they've created their own thing where they don't charge. You know, it's a free to use system. It has a lot of bugs and it's not working quite well. But it's good that they're giving people like a free marketplace where they can convert their bitcoins into U.S. currency. You can also not accept bitcoins if you don't want to. So if somebody wants to pay you on Bitcoin, you can just receive it in dollars, you know, in your wallet, in your digital wallet, and you can take the money out from either an ATM or one of the points that they one of the point of sale systems that they have. For no charge. So I think that's really good. I think the way that it was done, it was not done in the right way. They're giving away $30 for people to adopt it. So that's approximately $90 million of taxpayers' money that they're giving away to people to actually use Bitcoin. And the unfortunate thing about all of this is that according to a study that just came out, most of the Bitcoin transactions that have been happening either in the market or with private companies, the average sale has been $30. You know, so people are literally only using the money that the government gave them for purchases, but they're not actually
they're just
putting
draining the
their own
wallet and
money.
never using it.
Yeah, and they have been stealing people's money because the app is really bugged out. You know, it's not a really good app. So there's been probably over 500,000 claims of people saying that, you know, they did not register for the app, and they are registered in the app. So people just use their identity to get the $30. So you know, there's a lot of bad things going on around it, and I guess we'll see if it actually stands the test of time, right?
Yeah, I'm rooting for El Salvador. I'm rooting for the people. I hope that it naturally can. They'll find out how they like to use Bitcoin or don't like to use Bitcoin, and it'll just naturally, I don't know, adjust. I'm hopeful that it'll work out.
Yeah, it would be a very, very good thing, right? But if you just want to, like the original idea, or at least the public statement that they came out with, was that money companies like MoneyGram and all of these remittances companies were taking a big chunk of the people's money, which is true, right? So they said that with Bitcoin they could save people approximately $400 million a year, right? Which is a large amount of money for a country like El Salvador. So that makes a lot of sense. But do you guys think that that's the best alternative? Maybe Bitcoin or like a cryptocurrency? Couldn't that have been done maybe with like PayPal or something like that?
What I think is that it is just innovation. Like we have to see like the two sides. The first side is just innovation. Just people talking about it. Bitcoin itself is just a good thing. Also, we won't agree about the way that it has been done because of all the authoritarianism and the stuff. But what I think is that with cryptocurrencies and with the networks, you can totally help those type of countries, because I was thinking about my country today like as a dystopic place, because you have all this misery around, people like looking for food on the streets, on the trash, but in the other side you are there is people just living with Axie Infinity. So they are earning from NFTs, a place to earn stuff. So it is really weird that you are working from your computer, from working with crypto and that stuff, and then you go out to the streets and there is no food, or there is people in the street just starving. What I mean, my point is that of course that cryptocurrencies is just a way to get these people earn money, and of course DeFi and what Solon could do for the ecosystem is freedom, financial, probably is in financial independence in one way.
Hey, what's going on, Bugsy?
So I just was going to touch on what Max said a little bit ago about the Twitter Spaces. There's a lot more of them popping up. Obviously, there's a lot of people entering the space, but I recently hit like 600 followers, and last I read, you needed like 600 to host a space, so it wasn't showing up on my app anywhere. So I went through this whole Twitter DM back and forth with the support team, and this went on for a couple days, and they're like, send screenshots, this, that. And then all of a sudden they sent me back a message like, we're going to be opening it up to many more people. And then I started seeing people that weren't hosting spaces before start to host spaces. So I think it's been opened up to a lot more people, and that's why we're seeing so many. So that's just going to, I mean, yes, we're getting a lot of people coming in, but you're going to get like a distribution of all these spaces now. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be more spread out, I think, because now everyone has the ability to get up and host their own space and be like Pauly today and say, fuck you, don't speak to me, don't give me your comments, or whatever the hell he had going on. So,
yeah. So that means
it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
I do too. I like it because now I can host a space.
Yeah, congrats, bro. So I think that just means that the Twitter is just open up the Twitter space and the crypto space and the NFT space as well.
I mean, this is one of the prime ways that we have created value. This is one of the prime ways that the whole space functions. I mean, don't fuck with it, man. You know, just make it better. Like, you know, this is how people have made it all happen, by coming in here on Twitter and being in these spaces. So, yeah, just hopefully they just make it an even better product and available to more people.
I think you're going to see the end of, like, not really the end, but more people are coming here than, like, I don't even listen to podcasts anymore since I found this. You know what I mean? Like, podcasts is a thing of the past because I can actually engage with physical fucking people here, not face to face, but creature to creature apparently. But it's still cool as shit, and it replaces podcasts as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather be here. I mean, I go to work every day, and I sit here with my AirPods in, working on the power lines, probably like an idiot, but I still do it. And just because I want to hear what everyone has to say, and I learned so much just from sitting here and listening, you know? I love it.
I know, it's freaking amazing. I just want to open it up one last time. We're coming up on 2 hours. If anybody has anything they'd like to share, anything they'd like to ask, throw up your hand and let's do it now. If not, you can always find us at the Solon Discord, which I've linked at the top in a pinned tweet. Come in, ask your questions. It like I mentioned at the beginning of the space, like the value today for me was just fantastic. Just the conversation that was going on in there was really fun, and we were talking about crypto, about investing and regulations, you name it. We kind of like went all over the place, and I just hope it continues that way. I'm sure it will, as we gain more people that are joining, that are interested in talking about this kind of stuff, interested in growing in knowledge of it, and totally, like, it's a great place to not know anything and ask those questions. I mean, come through and never be afraid to ask any dumb question. I ask dumb questions on Twitter because maybe I'm dumb, and I don't mind asking them here in spaces either, because like, there's no shame in not knowing something. I mean, come on. But I don't see any hands, so thank you all for being here. I'm going to go ahead and end the space in a few seconds. CJ, you got anything you want to say?
Thank you, everyone, for coming into the space, taking your time to pop out. We appreciate all of you.
Likewise.
Thank you,
Have a
people.
nice night. It was great.
Jiang.
Thank you, brothers. Always alpha.
Good night.
Thank you, guys. Ending the space in 3, 2.